do was I would act out these parts. I'd be, mouthing Sherry Lewis and Charlie Horse and Hush Puppy and Lamb Chop. And when my parents' friends came over, now I don't know how many of you are familiar with Chicago, but there's in Chicago homes called a front room. Okay? And there's actually, John,
Yes.
isn't there a place called the front room? It's like a...
Closed, but there was. Yes.
Well, that's sad. I didn't even get a chance to go there. A front room was... Chicago, they had really big apartments. Huge. Like you could run, slide, hit your head, and it'd be great. And the living room had a little annexure thing, and it was called the front room. So I would go there every day after school, and I would rehearse. So when my parents' friends came over for coffee and it's coffee and cake, coffee and schnicky, coffee and cards, whatever. I would rehearse, so I would entertain them. And they called me Little Sarah Bernhardt. Sarah Bernhardt, for those of you that don't know, was pre-Fanny Brice, which Barbara Streisand played as her. So I was hooked even more. It was like a drug. So I would entertain them, and then my friends Debbie and Dina Santo would join me, and we'd put on little shows. Then I got the news. We were moving to a place called Niles. I didn't understand. What is this place, Niles? Is it in the USA? How far is it from my friends Debbie and Dina Santo, the JCC? Rudy's Beauty Parlor. Mom, where are you going to go and get your hair done? So we moved, and it was 1969. And we moved on a place foreign to me called Nordica, where my friend Ron Braver lived as well. And I haven't seen Ronnie in forever. Thank you so much. So we moved to Nordica, 1969. I was 7 and didn't know what to do with myself. So, as we all become, I just became a little tomboy, met the neighbors. We all became great friends. And then I was sent to Jewish camp. My mom was ill at the time. She was suffering from, well, she got hepatitis when I was like 4, and she was battling liver cancer. Not because she drank. No, she was a teetotaler. Her most famous drink was a banana banshee. And if you get cirrhosis of the liver because of that, that's something weird. So she was going through all this medical stuff, and a cousin of hers was very active in the Jewish organization here in Chicago, Masada and whatever, and they had a camp in Leonidas, Michigan, which was an Amish settlement. Nice. And a Jewish camp right in the middle of this. Right? So they sent me away, and I gotta tell you, this experience was, well, formative, to say it. So, my first year there, so I was, let's say, 9 or 10, and I met a bunch of great people. Some of them I'm still in contact with. There was this freak show, and I'm sure he works for the Rand Corporation now. His name was Harrison Freed, and he was totally convinced that he could make pot out of banana peels and a great wine. Now at this time we're little campers, but we let him go because he was an evil genius. He found some grapes, he mushed them up, he put them in a bottle, put a condom on top of it. He was convinced the fermentation would make it into wine. And we watched it as it got bigger and bigger and bigger. But the banana peel thing was very interesting to me and everybody else. I'm like, really? What's getting hot? Well, the season before, before. Harrison planted some pot. So he came and fermented it and whatever. So I must tell you, the first time I got high was at Jewish camp.
Here, here. That's one.
We will have a Q&A. You can't even imagine. You can't even imagine. You're freaking out, you're doing all this stuff, but you're surrounded by love and whatever, but he nailed it. Sort of. So anyway, it leads me to the Jewishness of my life, especially in the past couple of years. I stayed with it. We were born reformed, so I could have bacon, which was a number one. And growing up on Nordica, my friend Angie over there can attest to it, actually. My very first friend that moved in, raise your hand, Angie. Okay. From West Virginia. The best sausage, bacon ever, and the best gravy and biscuits ever.
Nice.
So, our parents became very good friends, and I'm still going and learning about Judaism a little bit, but this camp was so cool. I can't wait to go back to that camp. I can get Anyways, so, huh? I told you there'll be Q&A. I'm flipping through my notes. Oh, I missed that one. Brings me to my current situation. I live in a neighborhood that my mom grew up in. My mom went to Senate High School, and she grew up on Claremont, and I'm just a few blocks away. And it was some kind of, it was perfect. It was a thing that drew me there. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Some of you know, some of you don't. Okay, fine, I lived in a Jewish shelter because my life blew apart about 5 months ago. We'll get to that. But this neighborhood was very comforting. Well, Jewish, we're comforting people. Right, Rachel?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But what was happening is what I noticed in this neighborhood. Well, first of all, where do they go shopping? They're all Orthodox. The men with the big black hats. They all dress in black. They have white shirts. They wear white socks with big black shoes with the Velcro over them.